Back to channel. Today we're going to see the introduction to pharmacology. Actually, what is pharmacology? Pharma, con means drug, logos means study. So it is nothing but the science of drugs. So the interaction of the exogenously administered chemical molecules with the living system. That is, exogenously means from the outside products getting into our body. So it is of two divisions, that is for pharmacodynamics and pharmacokinetics. Pharmacodynamics means the drug which is affecting on the body. You can remember as DD means pharmacodynamics, drug effect on the body, and pharmacokinetics is the body effect on the, so after giving the drug how our body respond to it, that is nothing but pharmacokinetics. So the pharmacodynamics example you can take, it has a receptor mediated kind of examples under it, like adrenaline, because the drug affects the body. So how the drug affects on body? Of course by the receptors on our body. So example you can take the adrenaline, which interaction with the adrenogenic receptors in our body, which activates the G protein stimulation in the cell membrane with adenylyl cyclase and increase the intracellular cyclic AMP, that in turn includes cardiac stimulation, hepatic glyconeogenesis and hyperglycemia. So whatever the effect we are trying to produce, it acts on that kind of receptor and produce that specific effect. And the pharmacokinetics, the body effect on the drug, we have this kind, that is the absorption, distribution, binding or localization or storage, biotransformation that takes place in the liver. So whichever the drug which we give by oral injection, which passes through our stomach, intestine, it enters the liver, and from there it undergoes the biotransformation and the excretion of the drug. So whenever we have put the drug once, we need to even excrete out, because the drug being in our body is not good to us. So the drug should come out, that is by excretion of drug. So example of pharmacokinetics we can take the digoxin, which is 70% absorbed orally and 25% bound to the plasma proteins and localized in heart, skeletal muscle and also liver, kidneys. So the volume of distribution is only 6 liter per kg. The small part metabolized by liver to inactive products and also 1% excreted unchanged by the glomerular filtration in the kidney. So the total body clearance is 150 milliliter per minute, and the plasma half life is T half is equal to 40 hours. So what they mean to say is, this is what explaining about pharmacokinetics, that how absorption takes place by different organs and distribution to different parts of the body, and binding and localization and storage. It is binding, localization and storage. Localization means to act on only particular organ, and storage, so where it gets stored, and biotransformation that takes place in the liver, and the excretion of the drug finally from the glomerular filtration in the kidney. So this is about the pharmacokinetics. And the drug is used for the diagnosis, prevention, treatment and cure. Everyone just thinks drug is only for treatment or cure of the diseases, but it is also for diagnosis. Sometimes we use some drugs in X-ray so that we can see it clearly, and in prevention like vaccines, vaccine is also a drug which is given before the disease occurs. So that is the prevention, and treatment and cure, of course this everyone knows, that is for the diseases. So the drug is what, which is the definition of drug is any substance or product that is used to modify or explore the physiological or pathological states for the benefit of the recipient. So sometimes we may also change the physiological, and also especially we use for the pathological states to alter them for our good use for the benefit of the recipient. So that is nothing but. And the pharmacotherapeutics. So what is this? The pharmacodynamics plus the knowledge of disease prevention. Pharmacodynamics means what I said, remember as DD, that is the drug effect on the body. So the drug effect on the body and the knowledge of the disease prevention is nothing but the pharmacotherapeutics. And the clinical pharmacology is the pharmacodynamics plus pharmacokinetics, that is the drug acting on the body and the body effect to the drug, for evaluating the efficiency, safety, comparative trials, treatment of drug use and adverse effects. So we need to know clinical pharmacology is nothing but how to use in clinicals, that is how to use for the patients. We need to know first the safety, efficiency. We need to also know about the adverse effects. Sometimes it may also cause some diseases, side effects. So we need to know before giving any drug, we need to know its complete study. So the aim of the clinical pharmacology is to generate the data for the optimum usage of the drugs. And the chemotherapy is nothing but the treatment of the specific infection or the malignancy with specific drugs. So chemotherapy in cancer patients, that is like for malignancy, and specific infection. Sometimes we also say, for example, for any parasitic infections, we say the chemotherapy of this is, that is we also use this word for the specific infection treatment too. So for the selective toxicity for infecting an organ or the malignant cell with the minimum or no effect on the host. So only we target on the affected part or affected organism, and we just don't want any effect on the host, that is a chemotherapy. So the drugs in generally are divided into the pharmacodynamic drugs and the chemotherapeutic agents. Pharmacodynamic agents or drugs. So what are these? These are the pharmacodynamic effects on the recipient. Dynamic means drugs effect on the body, and the chemotherapeutic agents are designed to inhibit or kill the invading parasite or malignant cell, or no pharmacodynamic effects in the recipient. So what they are saying, it is no drug effect on the body, just it is designed to inhibit or kill the invading parasite and malignant cells. And the pharmacy, what is pharmacy? It's art of making drugs for the animals and humans. Of course, it includes the collection, identification, purification, isolation, synthesis, standardization, quality control of medical substances, and also the large scale production of drugs is nothing but the pharmaceutics, that is in the primary technological science. And next we have the toxicology. What is toxicology? It is a study of poisons, especially which effects of the drugs or other chemicals, with the study of the detection, prevention, treatment and adverse effects. Of course, as the name says, we mainly study about the poisonous effect of the drugs. As we are studying the poisonous effect of the drugs, we also need to know the adverse effects, because we will understand if we give same drug in therapeutic use, if we give it in a high dose, it leads to toxicity, like that. So all those things we need to know. And the drugs nomenclature, it is divided into three categories. That is the chemical name first, the non-property name and the property name. So what is this non-property, all this? The chemical name is nothing but describes chemically, as the name says. Example, you can take 1-isopropyl, that is nothing but the chemical name. That is example, you can take propanol. And what is a non-property name? That is accepted by US adopted name council, that is it is same in the every country. So whatever the name you say, it will be same in every country. So all over the world same, and it is recognized by the WHO, so it is same. And the property name or a brand name. So we know there are many drugs with many brands nowadays, there are many manufacturers, so it differs from one country to other. So the property of the trademark, that is one drug with many names. For example, you can take Altol, Altacardil, Eticot or Etin for the same etenolol from the different manufacturers. So different in different countries. In the same country only there are differences because of different manufacturers, and of course it will be different in different countries too. Example, you can say Timolol Malate eye drops. It is called as Timbonic in USA, but it is called as Glucomol in India. So of course the changes. And next, coming to the orphan drugs. What are the orphan drugs? They are the commercially non-available drugs, because they are only seen in the few rare cases of diseases. So as they are seen in very rare cases of diseases, they are usually not available in market. But sometimes if they are prescribed by the doctor, of course because of some rare conditions, it may be useful to some people. So we use those drugs, that are orphan drugs. And what are essential drugs? Essential drugs are what which are almost normally used in every case in every country. Those are like satisfying all healthcare needs of the majority of population and available at all times in the adequate amount. We know there's nowadays many drugs, essential drugs, generally used drugs. Those are the essential drugs. Now let us see here what are the orphan drugs examples. You can see the Fab digoxin antibody and T3. These are likely not rarely used, not often used. And the routes of drug administration, actually this has some factors to govern the choice of rule. So based on physical chemical properties of drug, of course if it's solid, liquid, gas, based on that will give liquid and solid both can be given orally, but the solid cannot be given intravenously like that. And gas solubility, stability. So irritancy also we need to see, so because sometimes if we inject some irritant substance, it lead to inflammation and also some toxicity. So always we need to see all these characters. The site of desired action, localization and approach, or generalized and not approachable. So only we sometimes we give some drugs only to one localized area. So all those things. And the rate and extent of absorption of drugs from different routes, effect of digestive nutrients and first pass metabolism on the drug. Rapidity, first pass metabolism means directly entering into the target organ without entering into liver, because any drug entering into liver again undergoes biotransformation, so the bioavailability decreases, that is nothing but the concentration reaching to the organ decreases. So this is what they're saying. And the rapidity with which the response is desired, that is a routine treatment or emergency, and accuracy of dosage required, and inhalation can provide fine tuning. And the condition for the patient, unconscious or vomiting. So based on the condition of the patient also there are different drugs we are going to discuss now. So the local routes, that is The routes can be divided into the local and systematic action. So the local routes are like, we know, they are like topical means which are just give on the site mainly. So just to localize only one area we give this example. You can take the external application of drugs in a localized action. Example, in skin we take ointments, cream, lotions. In mucous membrane it depends on the site. For example, in mouth and pharynx we use some lotion, paints like lotions, mouthwash. Ears and eyes, eye drops, nasal spray for nose. And gastrointestinal tract, we give some non-absorbative drugs. And bronchi and lungs, inhalations mainly gaseous substances, aerosols. And urethra like jelly like substances, irrigating solutions. And in vagina we give vaginal tablets, some inserts, powders, and anal canal ointments, soaps. So based on the organ also the drug differs because of localization. These are known as topical, only to the localized area. In the deeper tissues we may give the syringe needle because they need to go inside. Systematic absorption is slow. And intra-articular injections are given sometime in the case of hydrocortisone acetate, intra-articular injection, and also retrobublar injection. So this is all we give to the deeper tissues. And the arterial supply, the close intraarterial injection is given for the contrast media and the angiography, anti-cancer drugs. And also it is given to the especially our femoral and brachial artery for limb malignancies. And the systemic routes, that is all over the body. So the topical routes is only for the localized area, and the systemic routes are for the all over the body, because if you take any drug orally it may go to any part of the body but affects on the single organ to produce its therapeutic effect. So the drug admitted systemic route is absorbed into blood and also all over, including the site of action through the circulation. So orally we know this is a commonest easy process, it doesn't go any pain, safer method, no one is required to inject this, we can do it by ourselves. And but the disadvantages of this oral route, you can say the action is slower, not suitable for emergencies. Of course, unpalatable drugs are difficult to administer. Drug may be filled in the capsules to circumvent this, and may cause nausea and vomiting sometimes, because sometimes it may cause irritants to someone, and cannot be used uncooperative, unconscious and vomiting patient because we can't use it. And certain drugs are not absorbed, and others are destroyed by the digestive juices, example penicillin G, insulin, or in liver. So that's why we give insulin as injection or penicillin as injection, because they are easily digested away in our intestine. And next the sublingual, this is easier, fast and easier process because it actually absorbs very easily. With sublingual means under our tongue we'll put some drug, and after its action we can spit it out. So this is actually example, can take the nitroglycerin, isopreline, testosterone, and also clonidine. In the rectal, in the rectal part we may insert some drugs, especially in some vomiting patients who may not able to take oral route, or also like in some other conditions. It is of course embarrassing, inconvenient, unpleasant, but sometimes we give it because it bypasses the liver so that it can be absorbed in a maximum rate, but this is a slow process. And the cutaneous, we give lipid soluble drugs because our cell membrane is made up of lipids, so it should be lipid soluble to enter the cell membrane, and it is placed on the skin itself. It may penetrate slowly into the other skin layers and enter the body. And next we have the transdermal therapeutic systems. Even this is the same thing, which is put on our skin and slowly enters into our inner layers. And next we have patches. Nowadays there are new patches available, so these patches are also put on our skin, and they are slowly entered into our body. Now you can see the nitroglycerin is well available in India, and also many other new drugs are coming from different manufacturers nowadays. So pharmacology has improved a lot in its scope. And inhalation, inhalation is given actually to lung diseases mainly. In action is very rapid because it is given directly. Inhalation, the gas is easily absorbed into respiratory tract. So but sometimes if it is irritant, it may also got irritation in a respiration. And nasal also, nasal sprays and also all snuffs, everything are given. But there are not so many drugs. Example, you can take only posterior pituitary powder and desmopressin are given nowadays. And the parenteral is beyond the intestine. So behind the intestine, what we give directly into the tissue fluid or blood without cross the intestinal mucosa. So without crossing the intestinal mucosa also we give some drugs. So but there are also some actually this is used in emergencies, because it can be faster and it can be easily given. Disadvantages are also there for this parental routes, like the preparation has to be sterilized and the technique is invasive, painful and also costly. But in self injection example, in diabetics, they take the insulin injection directly by self, but sometimes it should be also given by some other persons in other cases, and it is risky process. And the subcutaneous, it's a type of parental, that is the loose subcutaneous tissue is it's given richly supplied by nerves, so irritants must be not given there, and but it is less vascular absorption. And next, the self injection is possible in this case also, because deep penetration is not needed, just on the skin layer. And the dermojet, these are like some jet like things which just on single puncture like thing they easily enter into body, it is less painful. And the pellet implantation, they are like pellets, you can say, like tablets only. These are like provides a sustained release of drug over weeks and months. Example, you can take DOCA, testosterone. And ciliacilic, that is non-biodegradable and biodegradable. Actually, the biodegradable and non-biodegradable drugs are given at a time. The biodegradable drugs, they get slowly ingested or mixed into our body, but the non-biodegradable are lastly removed. And especially they are trying for hormones and contraceptives for this method. And next we have the intramuscular. Intramuscular in large muscles, heavy muscles, we give it, especially in large muscles like triceps, gluteus maximus, rectus femoris, we know this. So it is richly supplied by sensory nerves, so mild irritation may be observed and it is easily absorbed. So it is also not so much painful. And the intravenous, most of the drugs are given intravenous, but it would be dangerous too, because it is going directly into our circulatory system. It is the first pass because it doesn't enter any liver, so it is having 100% bioavailability, so the effect is 100%. But we should be careful to inject some unusual things, because they are directly going to our heart and our circulation. And the intradermal injection, the drug is injected in the skin, raising a bleb. If you remember some vaccines, they raise a bleb on our skin. Example, can like vaccinating, sensitive texting, scarring or multiple puncture. And the future trends, in future they are going to come many other new drugs, especially many human proteins, peptides can now be biosynthetically produced and employed as such, because biosynthetically many products are not only from natural products, even from some other chemicals and other products, we are able to found new drugs nowadays, and we can find the new drugs for chronic diseases and may become possible in future. And not only future, even now we are having already many drugs. So pharmacology has a bright future in everything, because of many manufacturers, many ideas nowadays. In the most drugs administered systematically reach and affect not only target site but also the part of the body resulting in the site. Actually nowadays we are preparing drugs in such a way that only they should target on our main organ and produce the effect without disturbing any other organs and without causing any side effects. So our major plan is to make such kind of drugs. So this is all about introduction of pharmacology, very simple chapter. I hope you all like my video. If you like it, please like, share and subscribe.